What's going on, game players? How are you guys doing? Man, listen to me real quick, brother. I want to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle Podcast, episode number 40. That's right, 40. I'm your host, Keon Mitchell, and God dog it, I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Analog Circle Podcast. Man, now, if you want to, man, you know what? Look, listen. If you're interested, okay, just go over there. You can find some other podcasts from the Analog Circle. You can go over there to SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Audio Mac, wherever you want to go if you choose to. But listeners, I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in. If you want to get in contact with the SHOW, that's right, the show, give us a call at 443-261-4607 even. Or if you wanna, email the show, feel free to email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Man, let me tell you something, brother. I was in the cabinet earlier today. Okay, this is around breakfast time. You know, I looked in and I saw some Cookie Crisp. I said, oh, shucks, can't get enough of that Cookie Crisp. No, that was Golden Crisp. My bad, wrong song. But the Cookie Crisp, okay, y'all remember, if y'all around my age, Cookie Crisp, they had a burglar, right? It was a burglar. Burglar had a dog, and I think it was a police officer. They used to wear the black masks. Kind of looked like the Hamburglar. Man, you don't even see him at McDonald's no more. I guess that brother ain't part of the team no more. But I looked on this box, and I said, whoa, wait a second. What the world is this? This looks like a wolf. What the world happened to the dude with the dog? I said, man, things have really, really changed. There's a daggone wolf on there. And then I start thinking, man, back in the day, man, some of my favorite, okay, cereals. They were Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's still on the list. Honey Smacks. Yes. Apple Jacks, yes, and of course some honeycombs, and last but not least, I had to have the Captain Crunch Berry. All right, now that got me to thinking as well about another thing that they don't have in cereal. I could not believe, okay, now it's been a while now, but when you think about it, and they do not put little toys in the cereal boxes anymore. I remember I used to say, hey, Mom, can we please get this cereal? Can we please get this one? She'd be like, no Apple Jacks. We're just going to get you a cereal that's called Apple Rings. I'm like, Apple Ring? What? Apple Rings? Man, my friends, they out there telling me what boxes of cereal they're getting, and they're getting toys, and I got to get Apple Rings. I don't know what happened, but after a while, she said, well, you've been good. We'll get you the real cereal. So it was just one of those things. No more toys. I remember when they were doing the mail-in rebates and stuff. That's when I said, man, that's it. That's it. No more toys. No more nothing. I want to know, what the world was your favorite cereal on Saturday morning growing up? Y'all go ahead and email me that. I know it ain't game related. I don't care. But you know what? Enough of the cereal talk, god dog it, because stuff just comes random to me and I just talk about it. It's no point to it. It's no rhyme or reason. It's just talk. But let's go ahead and really get into the stuff that we all come here for. Oh, shucks. Wait a minute. Hold on. You know what? Can I tell you guys something? Can I talk to y'all for a second about Mafia 3? A little bit more, man. I dove into the game a little bit more. This is an update. Okay, I think the way I'm gonna do the scores for the games, I'm gonna do it in two parts. I think that's the best way to do it, because sometimes you're riding that high of how good the game felt, and then you spend more time with it, and that high kind of dies down, and you're able to really gauge it a little better. So what I want to say about Mafia 3, As far as an update, oh man. Okay, Mafia 3 is still a very good game. It just has a lot of glitches, bro. It just has a ton of them. I went on a mission and I was there and all of a sudden I guess the mission was supposed to take place at night. I got there in the middle of the day and the whole screen went from bright daylight to doggone shadow darkness. It just like the whole scene changed in a matter of 2 seconds. So I'm like, wow, that never happens in GTA. But hey, like I said, this is not GTA levels. But on top of that, you do the same stuff over and over and over again. But like I said, that story, God dog, that story really gets into your veins. It's a good story and it keeps you moving forward. That's the thing. So I gotta reevaluate the situation here, okay, with Mafia 3. Now, last time, I know I gave it an 8.5. A couple of other games I've given an 8.5. I think I gave Uncharted. I think I gave that a 9. But I can't in good conscience give Mafia an 8.5 because Ori and the Blind Forest, that was an 8.5, almost a 9. For me, I gotta drop it down to a 7.5, brother. This is the final score. This is it. This is no more first impressions. This is no more playing through and trying to, really get a feel for it. This is the actual score. But I gotta tell you, it is the absolute best 7.5 game that you can play. I'm telling you, I would recommend definitely pick it up, but pick it up when it's a bit cheaper. It's a little premium right now unless you have the unlocked box thing with Best Buy. If you have that, it's not bad, but just wait on it, okay? Outside of that, I want to give you guys an update about that external 4 terabyte hard drive. Oh man. This thing is incredible. Now, I have just been throwing games on this thing. I've been throwing all of my games on this thing. Now, for any of you guys that are getting this, remember it's only actually 3.7 terabytes in there. It's not a full 4 because you got to format it and all of that stuff. So it's 3.7. That's what you get. I have put 17 games on this hard drive. Now I'm talking about games like The Witcher 3. I put Halo on there, which is like 65 gigs darn near. I put, what else is on there, man? Tomb Raider is on there. I've put, Transformers on there, both of the Ori and the Blind Forests, Inside. 17 games. Now, I started with 3.7 terabytes of hard drive space. 17 games later, I still have 3.2 terabytes of hard drive space left. If any of you guys are digital and you just want to go digital, you don't care about the fizzies, no physicals, you want digital, this is what you need. This thing should be able to, if I'm up to 17, and I've only used good grief, 0.5 of the terabytes on this thing, then I have to believe that this thing can hold at least 50 games right off the top. So any of you guys that are trying to go full digital, that's what you want. That's what you need. This is what you absolutely need. Get that, and I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. Oh, you're gonna love it. Taking it over to your friend's house, plug it into his Xbox. You don't have to worry about installation anymore. It is a no-brainer. Get this doggone thing. Please get it. It was $150. Well worth the money. Now, God dog it, since I got all of that out the way, let's get into the gaming news that went down. Starting out, this is unfortunate. God dog it, it hurts. Oh, starting out with Cuphead. Now, this game has been advertised as an Xbox Live game, Windows, and Steam. Now, this debuted about 2 years ago at E3 during a sizzle reel on Microsoft's stage. Now, this game was supposed to come out this year. But unfortunately, oh gosh, the game has been delayed until mid-2017. Now listen, the studio said this, and I quote, "Throughout this year, we discussed reducing the scope to make a 2016 release, but we made the difficult decision to delay the launch in order to ship with our vision intact." Oh man, I was so looking forward to this game. Doggone it. It's one of the only games I've seen in that 1940s cartoon style. Just an amazing looking game. Very, very co-op heavy. Kind of look, a guy, Tony Polanco, from over at the Throwdown. He said he got a chance to check it out, and he said it was like Contra. One hit, bam, you're done. He said it was great. So shout out to that brother. But it really hurts. I was hoping this was gonna come out, but like he said, they didn't want to reduce the scope. They wanted to release the game with everything, with their vision intact. So guys, we're gonna have to wait till at least June of 2017 to see Cuphead. Very unfortunate news, but hey, this year's sewn up anyway. Plenty of games coming out. I did get Gears of War 4. I did not even touch it. I installed it, but I have not touched it. So next week, I'll give my first impressions of that, and we'll take it from there. Moving on. If you're PC gaming and have wanted to try, well, let me start that over. God dog it. If you're a PC gamer, okay, and you want to try Beyond Good and Evil, but you've been a little cool off of it, like, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna live up to what they say, then guess what? You'll be happy to know that for the next month, Ubisoft will be giving it away for free. Now, the only thing that will be required is to have a free, that's right, free. You guys know how I feel. If it's free, it's for me. A free Ubisoft Club account. Now, this is being done to celebrate Ubisoft's 30th. That's right, their 30th anniversary. It's not a lot of companies out there that have 30 years under their belt in the gaming industry. Outside of Nintendo, and Activision, you guys might not know this. I think I brought it up. But Activision was back in the day with Pitfall. For any of you guys that remember Atari 2600, yes, when you played Pitfall, underneath it said Activision. Those cats been around a long, long time. So, for you guys that want Beyond Good and Evil on the PC, god dog, you're getting it for free for a whole month. Now, this is probably to also generate a little bit of buzz for Beyond Good and Evil 2 that will be dropping one day. We just don't know when. Moving on. Oh, now this, my friends. Oh, listeners. God dog it. This was very interesting. Oh, man. Now listen to this. Now, for my anime fans out there, you are no doubt familiar with the anime movie Akira. Now that was my gateway anime drug. Okay, all right, not like Tina Turner's husband said, I quit that drug, narcotic anime. No. This was my gateway. Well, at the time, I always wondered, this is the thing. I always wondered why they never made this unbelievable anime into a video game. I mean, heck, some of you guys know this. Some of my old school game players know this. I mean, they made Fist of the North Star into a game. Now, the name of that game was on the Genesis. It was called Last Battle. So, I mean, to me, I'm like, well, why won't they do the same thing for Akira? Well, listen to this. Oh, man, I didn't know this until I read it. Come to find out, THQ was working on a Super Nintendo version and a Sega Genesis version of Akira until they got canceled before release. Now, there were also plans for handheld releases of the game, but nothing has ever been shown until now. Now, a video game personality by the name of Patrick Scott Patterson found 4 prototype cartridges in a bundle of games he bought. Now, he actually showed footage of the game. He had actual footage. Now, if you want to check out this, it's not great footage. I mean, it's really, it's a little rough around the edges. But if you want to just check out what could have been an actual official Akira game, all you have to do is go to YouTube, my friend, and type in Nintendo Game Boy Akira. Basically what it was, man, of course, in my mind, when I was reading about this, I said, oh my goodness, what the world did they do? What did they do? It wasn't all that exciting. I'm gonna tell you, it was a motorcycle game pretty much, and it was 2D, and they were showing you on the motorcycle. I think it was Tetsuo and, I forgot the other main character's name, but they were riding the motorcycles. That was it. But golly, could you imagine? This is the thing, man. Okay, all right, I want to vent to you out there for a minute, listeners. Okay. Why has no one done this? It's been so many awesome animes. Okay, Naruto, they've been doing it. They've been getting shine. Okay, Dragon Ball Z has been getting some shine. Why not give it to the single player story mode, kind of like once again Fist of the North Star or Akira or 8-Man. 8-Man was awesome. I don't know if any of you guys remember that anime, but 8-Man was incredible. Ninja Scroll was unbelievable. I just wish somebody out there, please make some of these animes into actual games. You got a lot of options out there, buddy. Somebody make it happen. Moving on. Now, for quite some time, we've been calling Nintendo's next console the NX. Well, in a tweeted out by a person whose name is, now this is a I would say an original name. His name is Mac, MAKUXV. Now I'm guessing the X and the V is a 10 and a 5 in Roman numerals, but I don't know. But on Twitter, he showed a pic that said Nintendo Duo. Now, underneath that name, it says software partner briefing, making people believe that this could be real. Now, I do want to say this could have been photoshopped, like other things we have seen, with reference to the Nintendo NX, the controller, wink, wink, being photoshopped. Okay, but it makes sense that the name of the console would be called this, the Nintendo Duo, only if it's what we think it is, or as it's been leaked to be, a console on the go, and a console you can play in your home. So that would make a lot of sense, but we will see. The thing they got me a little excited about this is it says that it's a press briefing. So could we finally see Nintendo actually release some news? Everybody is saying the 21st is the day to commemorate the anniversary of the Directs. Will they do this? Nobody knows, but we'll just have to stay tuned. Moving on down the road, easing down the road. Battlefield 1 on the Xbox One has digital pre-order deals. That's right, digital pre-order deals. Now, if you digitally buy the Early Enlister Deluxe Edition for $80, okay, you will also get a $10 gift card code, or the standard edition. If you get the standard edition, you will also get a $10 gift card. Now, this deal, I want to just point this out. This deal is for download codes. Now, if you're a Best Buy Game Club Unlocked member like myself, which I recommend that you do that, you can get the Battlefield 1 Early Enlisters Deluxe for $63.99 and a $10 rewards card, or the standard edition. You can get that for $47.99 and a $10 rewards card. Now that's for Best Buy. Now listen to this. If you buy the game through Dell, now this is pretty darn good. If you buy it through Dell, you can pay $80 for the deluxe and $60 for the standard. But listen to what you receive. You will receive a $25, that's right, $25 e-gift card that will arrive via email 10 to 20 days after the game ships. Now, the Xbox One version of this game, if you're interested in hard drive space, how much it's gonna take? It's gonna take up 42 gigabytes. God dog. 42 gigabytes of hard drive space. But these deals, man, it's amazing. Best Buy, I want to point out, that is the physical copy of the game. If you go through Dell, that is also the physical copy of the game. Now this is for Best Buy and Dell. That's for the PS4 version. For the other digital, I read it to be for the Xbox version. So if you guys, to me, the best deal out right now, if you can wait that 10 to 20 days, is Dell. I mean, Dell, yeah, you gotta pay full price for the actual game, whether it's the standard edition or it's the very, very pristine edition, the Early Enlisters edition, but you get $25 back. Well, not back, but you get an e-card to spend it where you want to spend it. It's a pretty good deal. So if you want this game and you want a good value for it, hop on it like a frog to a doggone pad. I don't know where that came from. Moving on. Then listen to this. 3 more games. That's right. Microsoft is busy, buddy. They're busy. Now, 3 more games have been added to backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. I'm gonna read them off to you. Some of these might tickle your fancy. I don't know. First one up is Silent Hill Downpour. I heard that wasn't that great, but who am I to judge? I didn't play it. Moving on to the next game that's available, Eat Lead, The Return of Mad Hazard. Oh, shucks. Hey, brother. Hey. You guys remember this game? This game is old as a mug. Dog, it's old. Man, I remember this game because of, Oh man, I can't remember the guy's real actual name, but it was the main character was voiced by Doogie Howser MD. Any of you guys remember that show? That was way back in the 90s, brother. If y'all aren't aware of who Doogie Howser MD was, he was a teenage doctor. He had such a high IQ that he was 17 doing doggone surgery, heart surgeries on people. He was a miracle. That's basically what he was. But yeah, I remember the guy who was doing the voice. You know, that's what makes this stand out to me. I heard it was a pretty okay game, but I did not play it. Moving on, looks like what is this? Okay, the last game on the list is Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords. Man, oh man, okay, well, that's the three you got. Now, if you want to know the prices of these games, eat lead. That's gonna set you back about $15, and you're gonna need about 5.53 gigabytes of hard drive space. If you want to jump onto the Silent Hill because of Halloween, that's gonna be $20, and that's gonna take up 4.52 gigabytes of your hard drive. And last is Puzzle Quest. Now that's gonna be a whopping $10. And this game, oh buddy, get ready for how much you're gonna need on the hard drive for this one, folks. It's gonna take 80.29 megabytes of hard drive space. God dog, what happened to those days? Man, oh man. But if you're interested in those games, they are available right now. Moving on down the doggone road. Here we go. Now this right here, man, this kind of blew my wig back like clink. It blew me back, okay? Now listen to this. Now this is very interesting. Now there is a report, and this is actually true because I went and looked it up. It is being noted as true that they're from Polygon. Okay, they're the source, Polygon. They are from Polygon, stating that you can play your PlayStation VR. That's right, PlayStation VR on your Wii U and Xbox One. That's right. They're saying to get this to work, you have to simply plug the HDMI cable that is meant to go into the PS4 into the Xbox One or Wii U. And if you do it correctly, turn the headset on to find the Xbox One menu. That's all you have to do. If you did it right, you turn on the headset, you'll find the Xbox One menu or the Wii U's menu, and bam, you are jacked in, buddy. Now I gotta tell you guys, this as cool as this is, cause it caught my attention. I said, whoa. Now I gotta tell you, of course, man, this is the downside. Now, these games are not optimized for the PlayStation VR on the Xbox side and the Wii U side. So don't expect to be in full immersion with the games. But it's likened to playing a cinematic mode on your Xbox One. Now, there is no head tracking, and the games will appear staticky on the screen even, and appear to look worse through the headset as opposed to your TV experience. Now, it was said that they didn't officially try it with the Wii U, so they don't know for sure, but they're guessing that it's going to work the same way as the Xbox One. But as far as the PC goes, oh, you PC guys, unfortunately for y'all, it just did not work because it never recognized the hardware when it was plugged in. Man, this got me to thinking. I said, God dog, man, I'm getting kind of hot in here. Woo! It got me to thinking, man. I said, wow. Now, it's interesting because like I've told you guys in the past, the Turtle Beaches that I have, now, they were for the Xbox One. They got the green and black on them, but I can click them into the bottom of the PlayStation 4 controller, and they work marvelously. So I'm taking it that, hey, technology on a basic level for this PlayStation VR. True, it's not gonna immerse you in the games. It's not built for that on the Xbox One. It's not optimized. But just the fact that, let's say you got a young kid, he wants this PlayStation VR and he has an Xbox One, and maybe he doesn't have access to the TV all the time, but he wants to play some Forza. He wants to play some Gears of War 4. He's in the mood to game a little bit. And if you don't have a TV, or if you're in a dorm room and you gotta share a TV because only one of y'all got one, if you got the PSVR, which one I'm taking it, if you can afford a PlayStation VR, you should have a TV, brother, in the dorm, but I don't know. But if you don't, this is a good way to just say, hey, buddy, I'm going full screen. I'm going to have me a good time. So this isn't a bad story. I thought it was kind of cool. Sticking with Sony, okay? Sticking with Sony. It looks like if you prefer to play your games on Steam with a PlayStation controller, it looks like you won't be waiting too much longer to be able to do that. In an interview with Gamer Sutra, Valve's Jeff Bellinghausen confirmed that the company, yes, the company, is working to include native support for other various controllers, starting with the PlayStation 4's controller. So eventually, there will be no need to buy wireless adapters to make it compatible. That's me talking. That wasn't him. That was me. So I think this is really cool. It's one thing that I really enjoy about the PlayStation 4 controller. Can I tell you guys what it is real fast? I enjoy the grips on the back of the controller. Oh, it feels so nice. Oh, it feels good in my palm. I like it. And it's so many guys out there that prefer to play with the PlayStation 4 controller over the Xbox One. I say give them choice. Give it to them. So, Jeff, I tip my hat to you, buddy. I tip my hat to you for saying, hey, there's guys out there, they want to have options. They want to have choices. They want to play with the PlayStation 4 controller. Guess what? Let's go nuts. Let's go crazy. And let's go ahead and make that happen. The only thing I gotta just say this, guys, I don't know when it's gonna happen. It was no date. It was no month. It was no year. It was nothing given. But the good thing is, once again, Jeffrey, good old Jeff, over there at Valve, he's making sure he's working on this. I'm sure his guys are going to work on this very hard. And you PlayStation 4 guys are going to have your controller Steam compatible in the very near future. Moving on down this road. Oh, man, we are choo-chooing along. No, we ain't on the road no more. We on the tracks. Yeah, we on the tracks now. Choo-choo, people. Choo-choo. Moving on right here. Now, this was right here, man. This right here. This right here, like Cat Williams, this right here, man, this was interesting. Now for the third month, for the third month in a row, Xbox One has been the #1 selling console in the States. Now, Aaron Greenberg took to Twitter. He took to Twitter and had this to say. He said, big thanks for making at Xbox best-selling U.S. console third month in a row from at NPD Group. First time this gen, we have won 3 consecutive months. Now, we know. Now, this is the thing. This is the end of his quote. The months. That's where he's cut off. This is me talking. Now, we know Sony has been leading this whole generation by a landslide. Now, they are still leading by a super landslide. They are doing their thing. But the question, we got to ask ourselves something here, man. Something's in the water. What has changed? What is different? How is it? Why is it that 3 months in a row Like Aaron Greenberg said, this is the first time they've done it all generation. Whoa! What has happened? Now, people can say, hey, people got a couple theories. They're like, well, hey, look, so many people are buying the PlayStation 4, they're running out of road. Too many people have bought it. It's over 40 million strong. Of course, they're gonna, maybe jump over to the competition and say, hey, I want to play your games too, because their install base is so big right now. I said, that's a very, very good point. I could see how a person could think that. I think that could be very true. But my thing, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I could be 150% wrong. It wouldn't be the first time, brother. It just would not be. But I'm thinking, okay, it actually took the lead back in July. The Xbox One S, it was not out yet. Because people also are saying, well, the S is pushing. The S is the reason why. And yes, they are right. They are totally right. The S is a big reason why. No doubt about it. But back in July, how did they do it in July, the summer? Well, you guys remember when the S was talked about. The original Xbox One, the black one, yeah, he went on sale. Microsoft said, that's it, we're doing a burn sale. We got to get rid of this mother. He got to go. We got to give him away. We're going to practically give him away. He's got to get out of here. He got to go. So what happened? The price point went down to $280. $280. I had people literally calling me. Okay, it wasn't people. It was just one person. My cousin, he called me up and said, hey, man, is this real? Or are they lying to me? Is this really real? I said, yeah, brother, it's real. Yeah, go ahead and get one. I think you're going to enjoy it. He said, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I told y'all this before. A buddy of mine, I told you that. He got his son a Xbox One in the summer. He didn't wait for Christmas. He went on and said, man, it was so cheap, I had to get it. It was something I had to do. I said, brother, do you. I hope he enjoys it. My thing is this, man. It's the price. The price was the factor. That's what moved the units. Now, we can go ahead and talk about it a little bit more. Now, okay, the price. We'll just go ahead and skip that for a minute. We'll move that to the back burner. We're over that now. But what else is it that they're doing over on the Microsoft side that has people kind of looking at the Xbox a little different? Well, they've been doing a good job with their first party games. Now, don't get it twisted, okay? I don't want anybody saying, wait a minute, Keon, hold on. I think you're showing a bias here. I want to point out first, okay? Sony has done a good job. They have. Their first party, they've done a good job. They really have. They brought out games. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to think of it. Hold on. Uncharted 4. I bought it. Great game. Loved it. They also had, what's the other one? Until Dawn. I bought it. I heard it was great. I didn't play it yet, but I'm going to get to it. Trust me, I'm going to do it. The other game, one of the best games I played this year, Ratchet and Clank. Incredible game. Just incredible. They've had good games this generation. They've had Bloodborne. Wow. Bloodborne. Huge game. They have done their thing. And people can say that, Microsoft, because I'm about to go ahead and switch to Microsoft. You guys can say, well, Microsoft hasn't been consistent either. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna totally agree with you. You're right. But the thing is, though, is that when you think about games coming out, who has been the most consistent year over year? Each year. Who's been the most consistent? I'm not going to answer that because everybody has their own answer. What I'll say is, yes, Microsoft, they do tend to bring out the same games. games. Every year. I mean, Gears of War, that was last year. Gears of War is this year. Forza was last year. Forza is this year. Okay, they have that record. But in between those games, though, they do have some different stuff. Case in point, Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, that was a new one. Ori and the Blind Forest. That was another one. What's another one? They got Dead Rising coming out later on this year. They had Dead Rising at the launch. They had Rise. You know, they've had these other games that have been in gaps. They had Tomb Raider exclusive last year. You know, they have these little gap stops where it's like, okay, that's not the same game. You know, it is a little different. So, hey, okay. But the thing is, to me, I'll say it once again, it's price point. Everybody's saying that the PlayStation 4 is going to jump right back on top when the Pro comes out. When the Pro hits the market, it's over. They're decimating everybody. It's done. Everybody's going to fall back in line. Microsoft isn't going to eat anymore. They're not going to be able to touch them when the doggone PlayStation 4 Pro comes out. That's what people are saying. They're saying nobody's buying a PlayStation 4 right now. That's the other reason. Nobody's buying a PS4 right now because they're waiting for the Pro. They're waiting for the Slim. They're the two consoles that they're waiting for. Once those come out, it's over. You got VR coming out. It's done. My friends, listeners out there, I say no way. I say that people are more interested in price point. The price is everything. Case in point, the PlayStation 4 original and the Xbox One original coming out at the same time. Yes, Xbox One has had that doggone Connect that had to be included in the box. Yes, they were talking about DRM and not being able to exchange your games. And yes, they also came in with the perception of being the much weaker console, which is not much weaker. It is weaker, but to say much weaker, I mean, come on, you're wrenching, you're grabbing, you know. So they had those things stacked up against them, and on top of that, they had the price point stacked up against them, $100 more than the competition. That was the talking point. That was the main talking point. They had the better exclusives during the launch. Nobody gave a darn about that. They were like, look, $500 versus $400. I'm going with the $400 option. That's what I'm going to do. There was so many people that jumped over ship. They jumped ship from the Xbox side to the Sony side. And that's cool, man, because I got both. I got love for both of them. But to say that when the Pro comes out, they're shutting everything down. And the Pro is $400. And it doesn't come with a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player. That's the other thing you gotta factor in. Before you say anything else, you gotta factor two things in. You gotta factor in that with the Xbox One S, we're not even talking about the original. We're gonna just talk about the S because they've said that the S was. And I want to point this out to any of you guys out there that want to say, hey, maybe they were the console number one, but they probably got beat by the 3DS or something like that. I want to let you guys know in the article. It says that the Xbox One S was the highest selling console of any gaming hardware in September. That's what they said. So you also got to look at it like this. They're offering a 4K Blu-ray player. True. Might not be the best 4K Blu-ray player. I've heard reports it's not that great. It's, it's not all that great or whatever. But you also got to look at it like this. They're also offering backwards compatibility where you can just simply put in the disc and that's it. Even though people may never use the 4K Blu-ray player, even though they may never use the backwards compatibility. It may never happen. The thing is that people like options. They like to have the option just to say, if I want to pull the trigger on it, if I want to do it, I can do it. And that is a talking point. You're getting a 4K Blu-ray player and you're getting backwards compatibility. The PlayStation 4 Pro, it does not have a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player. Let me get that straight. It's Blu-ray, but it's not a 4K. And it doesn't have backwards compatibility in the sense of being able to put in a PlayStation 3 disc and play it. This is $400 versus $300. We'll see how it plays out. But I truly believe that people may start looking at Sony a little differently because they haven't had a lot of AAA games. True, same thing can be said on the Microsoft side. They have not. They've been lacking as well. They really have. But the only big title that Sony has coming out for the holiday season, which is the season where these consoles get pushed the most, is The Last Guardian. That's it. That's all they have. The other game that was an anime game that got pushed back, it's not coming out with the cat. I don't know what it's called. Somebody please say it. I don't know. But that's all they have. So it's going to be interesting. They got the third-party support, but we'll see. I've harped on this way too long. We got to get going. Moving on to the next story. It's not even a story. Hold on. Wait a minute. Before I get into that, listen, man. I just found out. Look, listen. Ratchet and Clank. I got to jump back on this, okay? Ratchet and Clank is $20 right now. It's $20 dollars. Please, if you are a PlayStation 4 owner, listen to me. Please listen to me. Pick this up. This game is doggone amazing. I loved every minute of it. It was a $40 game initially. They've dropped it down to $20. This game is the same price as doggone Inside. It's the same price. And this is a full-fledged game. This game took me about 10, maybe between 9 and 10 hours to beat. I mean, an unbelievable game. Weapons were fun to shoot and play around with. Gameplay was awesome. Graphics were great. Story was funny. Genuinely funny moments in this game. Please, PlayStation 4 owners, get this game. Please support it. It's $20 digitally and it's $20 physically. I actually saw it. Matter of fact, it was on Best Buy. You can go on a Best Buy and check it out. It's $20, man. If you're a Gamer Unlocked member, you can get it for like $18, man. It's a doggone no-brainer. Please pick this up. But moving on from that, man. Now, listen to this. Oh, man. The Friday the 13th game has been delayed until sometime in spring of 2017. I guess them and Cuphead doggone had the same thing going on. But listen to this, though. Now, spring is when the multiplayer mode will be available. But if you're looking forward to the single player, that won't be available until the summer of 2017. Now, if you have contributed through Kickstarter or pre-ordered the game, you'll receive the single player for free. Now listen to this though. If you didn't pre-order it or kickstart it, then you'll have to pay an additional $40 for the single player. Now, for the physical copy, if you're a physical guy like myself who enjoys your physical copies of games, you'll actually be able to get a physical copy of it for $60. Now, even though, now this was a little bit of sunshine in the rain. Now, even though, it won't be released until, next year. People who have backed it, like I said, or pre-ordered it, you will receive a beta access this year. And on top of that, it even gets a little sweeter. It's sweeter. You will also receive 4 additional beta keys to give to people you know. So this game, this has been interesting. This game looks gory, okay? It looks very brutality. The only scene I remember, man, whoa, was when the woman or the girl was hiding from Jason and he busts through the door and he was looking for her or whatever. And all of a sudden he catches the girl and he's just slamming the door. Oh, it was terrible. I said, ooh. It looked rough. But for any of you guys that are interested in it, once again, it got delayed, spring 2017. If you want the once again single player, that'll be out summer 2017. But at least they're gonna give you guys something. Who have pre-ordered or backed it, you'll be able to get beta access to the game this year. If any of you guys out there have backed this game, definitely let me know. I'm interested to see how this game plays out because it looks promising. And the good thing about it is that they have the guy that actually worked on the films actually with them, working with them, and him overseeing the project. So I'm sure it's going to turn out great. Moving on down the choo-choo track. Choo-choo. If you were the owner, I gotta laugh because this story right here, man, man, let me share it with y'all. If you were the owner of a PlayStation 3 thick bone, that's right, the thick bone, or some people call it the fat. I don't want to go there. I'm going to just call it the thick bone. Now, if you were an owner of the PlayStation 3 thick bone, you may be eligible for a few dollars. Oh, yeah, a few bucks. Now, because of a settlement from Sony. So listen to this. Now, this was back in 2006, when the PlayStation 3 was released. It came with various OS features, which allowed users to petition part of their hard drive and install Linux on it. But in April of 2010, they decided to remove the feature via a software update for security reasons. But it turned out many people were using Linux to help them crack their PlayStation 3, so they were pretty upset. They were angry, especially since Sony advertised Linux support, Linux support as a key selling point. Now, when it first it was a key selling point when it first promoted the console. So, as a result, PlayStation 3 owners started a class action lawsuit back in 2010 to sue Sony for false advertisement, breach of warranty, and other offenses. So now, after 6 years, Sony has reached a settlement. Now, this is what's required to be part of this claim. Now, you have to be a U.S. resident who purchased a PlayStation, not fat, we're going to call it the thick bone, PlayStation thick bone, between November 1st, 2006 and April 2010. Now, you will be eligible to claim a whopping, listen to this, buddy, a whopping $9. Oh yeah, $9. Hey, listen, don't sleep on $9. Okay, if you don't have any money, you're hungry, and all of a sudden you find a pair of jeans that you washed, and you know about to wash them, and you clean out the pockets, and you find $9. That $9 becomes very important because that means you can go to Subway, you can get yourself something to eat, you can get a chicken box, you can do what you want to do, but you'll be able to claim $9. That's right, $9. Now it does get a little sweeter. Now, if you can prove beyond a shadow, that's right, a shadow of a doubt that you used the OS features between those dates, which once again, I want to read the dates off to you again. It's November 1st, 2006 to April of 2010. If you can prove that this is what you did, you went on and you used those OS features between those dates, you can claim a $55 joint. You can claim $55. Now that's pretty nice because that's a new game, buddy. That's brand new. In certain cases, you can get a pair of kicks with $55. Now to submit, now this is the thing, listen. Now to submit a claim, you got to go to www.otherossettlement.com. Once again, to get into this claim, go to www.otherossettlement.com and include proof of purchase as well as the PlayStation Network ID that you used on the console between those dates. Now, any proof of having used the other OS features as well. Now, if you own multiple PlayStation 3 thick bones consoles, you can make multiple claims. I'm about to say cash. Well, you kind of can. You can make some cash. You know, hey, 55 times 3. Okay, do it. It'll be a good little gift to yourself if you have a couple of them. But if you, once again, have multiple consoles, you can make multiple claims. Now, this is the thing. The cash payments will be made in March of 2017. And Sony has said that they have done nothing wrong. They have not admitted to doing anything wrong. They just said, hey, it is what it is. And you know what? This is the thing. God dog. Sony, weren't they just in court just a little while ago about what was it? The latest Killzone that came out. Somebody said, hey, it wasn't 1080p online. God dog. And they got sued and they lost the case. I was blown away. I would have never thought that would have stood. I would have thought Sony had some dope lawyers that were going to just eat that. I'm like, oh, no, we're not paying. Okay, that's not going to happen. But no, they lost that case. So 6 years later, they're back at it again for having, talked about those OS features, the Linux feature, and then took it out during a VIA update, and people were upset, and now they're being able to claim $9.55 for claims. God dog. I don't know what's going on, but if you guys are interested, that's all you got to do. Moving on down this road, buddy. Yes. Now, during the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival, the second expansion was announced, Final Fantasy Stormblood. Yes, that's the new expansion. Now, this is some good news. This is coming out. But along with this good news, God dog it, came with a little bit of bad news. Now, Square Enix revealed that they will stop supporting the PlayStation 3 version of the game. Now, Final Fantasy XIV director, I'm going to try to get this right. Naoki, I think I'm on to something, Naoki. Yoshida. Yeah, Naoki Yoshida, we going to go with that. He announced that the publisher will be launching a special campaign. It's going to be allowing players still enjoying the PlayStation 3 version of the game to upgrade for free to the PlayStation 4 version. Now I want to point out this though, Stormblood, that's actually going to release, if you guys weren't aware, it's going to release in the summer of 2017. God dog, a whole almost year. Man, this is Final Fantasy. God darn. Okay, hey, look. Okay, I'm just a messenger. All right, it's gonna be out summer 2017. Now the thing is, when support for the PlayStation 3 will stop, I personally wasn't able to find a specified date, time, or year, but it is coming. The thing is that, and I understand that running a special, a deal where you won't have to pay for the game twice, but god dog, man, you got to spend at least $300 to enjoy that, because you're gonna have to get a PlayStation 4, because you're gonna have to play the PlayStation 4 version, because you're cutting off the PlayStation 3 player base. So I don't know how good of a deal it is. I mean, look, it is something. Don't get me wrong. It is a great incentive if you are on the fence about getting a PlayStation 4. You know that if you are into the Final Fantasy 14 game, that you will be receiving it for free on that console. So, that's something. And the PlayStation 4 is a great console. It's a fantastic machine. It really does great things. Games look beautiful on it. The first party games are still good, even though it's been a nice amount. Don't get me wrong. It's been a good amount. It has been. Don't underplay Sony. They've done a great job. And hence is why they're in the lead. They're still in the console lead. Microsoft might have won 3 months, but don't get it twisted. They are still very, very much so in the lead. So, shout out to PlayStation 4, man. But moving on to the last story. Now, this was cool. I liked it. It's not a big deal, but some of you guys might actually get this. I know I'm gonna get it. If you're a gamer on the go and plan on picking up the Nintendo Mini, because I'm darn sure getting that thing. That thing is going to be right. If you're getting a Nintendo Mini, you're in the market. They're actually releasing a carrying case. It's called a NES Classic Edition carrying case. Now, this thing is actually being sold on Amazon for $19.99 and can be pre-ordered right now. This thing looks so cool, man. I was looking at it on Amazon. Once again, if you're interested in it, it's called the NES Classic Edition carrying case. It looked like one of those hard, thick, plastic carrying cases like you would have seen back. If any of you guys are familiar with renting systems, I never rented one because, thank God my parents were able to buy me the consoles. But if you were ever to rent a system over the weekend from Blockbuster, back in the day when they were renting them out, and you remember those thick cases, those plastic cases they would have on display, it looks just like one of those. Now, of course, you younger cats out there, y'all ain't gonna get that reference, but it's all good. I think that anybody that's planning on picking this up for $20, man, it's $20. It's a great looking carrying case. It's on Amazon right now. It's on pre-order. Definitely pick this one up, man. But that's gonna do it for the gaming news this week. But hold on. Don't go anywhere. Wait a minute. Please don't go anywhere just yet. Because we're about to get into, of course, man, god dog it, my favorite part of the podcast, man, and that is the feedback section. You know who wrote in. You know who did it. Of course, Mr. Cody Clark did it. So after this, we're going to get into what Mr. Cody Clark wrote in and what he had to say. So stay tuned, guys. And welcome back, god dog it, welcome back. Woo, man, let's go ahead, buddy. You know where we're at. We are in the feedback section. Let's get it in. Starting out with Mr. Cody Clark. He says, now this is the name of his email. He says, why no games, Japan? Why you not love Xbox gamers? Oh, man. He says, man, that's hilarious. He says, I don't get the majority of Japanese companies. Let me start over. He says, I don't get the majority of Japanese companies are only throwing down on the PlayStation 4. He continues to say, I get domestic pride, but come on, a lot more games sell on the Xbox than the PlayStation 4. Oh, shucks. He says they may have a quarter or half the total systems out there, but they sell just as many copies of the games. It burns me out. I want to give JRPG devs my money, but I don't feel like getting a PlayStation Vita or PlayStation 4 for like 5 or 6 games. I want everything else on my Xbox One. It's there. It has my preferred controller. It has my Amazon Prime, my Netflix, my Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is dope, by the way. I can start up a conversation with Goose or Tiny or Aaron. Just give me my games. It's too lazy. He says, I'm too lazy to update my old rig. It is so old I can't support anything past the Rec X10. Hey, brother. Hey, Cody. Holla at me, brother. I don't even think I can run 9. But he says, will Shenmue do whatever? Sure it will. I doubt it will take as long as Beyond Good and Evil 2 or The Last Guardian. They took public money, so their feet will be in the fire. And since Sony's name is attached to them, they will probably be forced to move fast. I am totally cool on this game. I just don't care. I've got all my energy saved for Mass Effect 4 and Crackdown. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to Crackdown, brother. He says, let me get psyched or disappointed with those 2 games. Then I will pick up a new IP to fixate on. First off, Cody, hey man, thank you for this email. This is interesting. I like this. By the way, last week's question was, will Shenmue ever come out? Is it ever coming out, man? Last week I talked about 11 chapters. Yu Suzuki wants to make this thing. That's too excessive, is what I said. And he was answering. So, Cody, I truly appreciate it. And you know what? You are absolutely right. It took me a minute to think about this, Cody. You are totally right. Everything comes on the PlayStation side or the Nintendo side. It's either or. You remember last generation, the 360, they had so many JRPGs, so many exclusives. Lost Odyssey, which is backwards compatible now, by the way, but Blue Dragon, they had what was the other one? The Tales of Vesperia on there. They had another one where the dude was dreaming the whole time. I can't think of that one. Maybe that was Tales. I don't know. But it's such a, I gotta agree, it has to be a bit of a bias, because the only JRPG I see that's coming to the Xbox One is Final Fantasy 15. That's it. I don't hear any other talks. Keep in mind, guys, once again, I could be wrong, but I'm not hearing any great talks about these JRPGs. Sony is getting all kinds of stuff. They had that game that just released over in Japan. It's going to be coming out next year for us. What's it? Persona? I believe Persona. That's coming out. They got Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Xbox, One when it's released, but who knows? That's another Square Enix game, but we'll see. I mean, I fully agree with you, Cody. I think that the Xbox gets no Japanese love, no JRPG love, just zero. So, Cody, I couldn't agree more. Maybe one day, brother, maybe we'll see it. Like you said, Xbox owners, they pick up the games. They buy the games. Like you said, it's half the install base. Oh, yeah, it's half. but they get the games. They pick them up. So I would think that why would they leave that kind of money on the table? Why would you do that? Do such a thing. Like you said, Cody, maybe it's just the pride. Maybe they just don't want to do it. I don't know. Moving on to your second email, though. Now, this one is called Mafioso Seagate Story Time. Oh, listen up. He says, by the by, I really liked hearing you break down Mafia 3 and your take on the Seagate SSD. I appreciate that, brother. He says, I'm not super into Mafia, so it was a good way to get a point of view on that game, which you had been a tad bit excited over. Yes, I was, man. I was so overly excited. Any new trailers, anything I was putting in the group, the Analog Circle Facebook group, it's just a fun time, man. He says, in being familiar with PCs, I have a very negative opinion on Seagate. Their HDs are known to be a bit sketchy. It was awesome to hear you are having a good experience with this SSD. It's some good tech review and game reviews. I appreciate that, man. He said you shook stuff up a bit, and I really appreciate and value that, especially when you got just a tad sour when you started going on Shenmue 3. Yeah, I was a little hot, bro. I was just a tad bit ticked there, Cody. He says, keep being awesome. Man, thanks, man. He says, keep being awesome, sir. It makes my week better when I get to look forward to you being all that in a basket of fries. Nah, man, I will take the compliment. I appreciate it, man. But truly, Cody, I thank you, brother. And I mean that. I truly thank you for always writing into the show. I truly appreciate, people out there listening, you listeners out there. Thank you guys, because if nobody is listening, and I truly, God, honestly mean this, if nobody is listening to the podcast, nobody out there cares, nobody's, checking for the podcast, it makes it worth zero, nothing. It doesn't mean anything. So just getting the feedback from you, Cody, every week, week in and week out, just hearing your thoughts. And I checked out that video too. Cody had actually sent me a link to a video where, golly, let me bring up the guy. I gotta give him his props, because this was pretty interesting for any of you guys out there that are interested in tech, taking things apart and seeing how things work. It was, I'm bringing it up right now. It was a teardown of the PlayStation 4. I'm gonna try to find the gentleman's name. It's not coming up. Golly, Cody, I'm sorry. But that video was interesting. Basically, what the guy was doing, he was breaking down the PlayStation 4 Slim, and he was saying, what things they did to make the console a little more cheaper, things that they may have cut out, or things they added or substituted in the place of different parts. And he said that basically they did a really good job of taking out the parts that made the system more expensive. He said even more so that they actually went cheaper than Microsoft did with the Xbox One S. So not necessarily saying that the parts, of course the parts were cheaper, but not cheaper to the point where they were going to break or anything like that. It was just cheaper. That's all, just to cut costs. So I thought that was a really, really cool video, Cody. I truly thank you for that. And once again, just thank you for tuning in to the show every week. It's greatly appreciated. You and Goose, it means the world, brother. And not just for y'all. For all of you listeners out there that listen every week, it's the world, man. It means everything. So I'm still continuing to try to get interviews with people. Nobody's really checking for me, but it's okay, man. I guess I gotta get my weight up. That's all. So I still haven't forgot. I've been trying to get people on. Shout out to Mastino Davis. Hopefully I can get him on the show very soon. And also I want to give a shout out to Chad Harper in the Facebook group on the Analog Circle. Facebook group, he actually had sent the same story. If I had checked first on there, he actually had the story up about Beyond Good and Evil being free on the PC first. I'm like, man, that was hours later I found that story. If I just checked in the group, I could have had something. So shout out to Mr. Chad Harper for always being in the comments and putting up different stories. And shout out to Mastino Davis for doing the same, as well as various other people in the Facebook group. But with that, man, you know, I have to do it. I have to do it. I gotta ask y'all this question. Now, this question right here, you know, for next week's show, man. I gotta ask y'all. Now, this is not controversial or anything like that, but man, do we really need split screen in 2016? Now, I mean, Gears of War 4 has the option in there. You know, do we need this right now? Do we need it? Is it necessary? People are still checking for split screen in 2016. Is this something that's needed? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I never liked split screen. Never. Even when I was a teenager, I used to go over to my buddy's house, my best friend, man, still my best friends, Mark and Renard, man. I used to go over to their house. They had all of the dope games, man. They had all of the new stuff that was coming out. And I would go over there and we would play GoldenEye on the N64, and it'd be the 4-player screen cut up. I'd be like, man, I hate this joint. This is bogus. You know, so I never have been a fan. Yeah, it'd be fun playing, but you got that 4 or 5 inch window you're trying to look into and all of that stuff. When online gaming came out, I was like, whoa, this is where it's at, buddy. This is what I need in my life. So I want to know, from me to you guys, to the listeners, and thank y'all, do you think that we need split screen in 2016? With that, friends, with that, that's gonna wrap up the show this week. Once again, God dog, I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Analog Circle Podcast. Once again, if you want to get in contact with the show and call on in, feel free to call at 443-261-4607. Leave a voicemail. You can even text the number. If you want to get something off your chest, text the number. Maybe you don't want to call, and that's all good. As long as you text it, I'll read it on the podcast. It'll be all groovy. Just make sure you include your name so I can shout you out. Or if you want to go the more traditional route, you can actually, once again, email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Whoo! That is it! But, buddy, ladies and gentlemen, it's not over. Because until next week, when we do it again, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.